are open. Predictions are now open. You can place your bets on who you think is going to be this week's champion. Hold on, I'm trying to get the predictions going. Beautiful. And here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of altitude, we have the Filipino Zerg player representing himself. It is the pink Zerg. It is EnDerr. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the best player in all of Taiwan representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Nice. The red Protoss. Here we go. We have a PvZ before us. Now, because Nice comes from the upper bracket, he does have a 1-0 advantage. He's already up 1-0 in this series. He has quite a big lead, but a lead that can be surpassed, can be overcome by EnDerr, I believe. I do believe. As we do waddle past the platypus. Beautiful. It is beautiful as Nice is going for a probe scout across the map. And it was, I believe it was a Nexus first here from Nice, so a bit more of a greedy economic opener here from our Protoss player. Meanwhile, across the map, Hatch gas pool from EnDerr. So standard opener from EnDerr, greedy economic opener from Nice. But again, he can afford to do so. We're on altitude. The rush distance by ground is very long. So he can afford to be greedy as he's going into a double gate opener. So we saw this earlier today. We saw this against Gogo Joey. It was Nice versus Gogo Joey, where Nice did go for a Nexus first into a 2-gate, and he was able to just get out of control with his Adept harass. So because he's going for 2 gateways first, by the time the Cybercore finishes, he can make 2 Adepts at a time, and he's going to be looking to be very aggressive with them. And we saw what happens if he gets left to his own devices. I think he killed 9 drones against Gogo Joey, and he set himself up beautifully for a 3-base all-in afterwards, and he snowballed out of control. We'll see if EnDerr can keep up with the harass of Nice and minimize his losses. Again, the difference here is that EnDerr is known for being hyper-aggressive. He's not a very standard player at all. He can drone, yes, but I don't know, usually he's known for, you know, more 3-base play, like 66 workers at most. Very hyper aggressive. I don't know how well that's going to work here against Nice's style. But now, Stargate opener from our Protoss player. Do have the Cybercore finishing up. We are not. Oh, there we go. I was like, where are the Adepts? There we go. The Adepts are now on the way from Nice. Blacklad's back at home. EnDerr is just droning happily, focusing on his economy, sending out his overlords to get a scout off, of course, as well. And Nice, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for a Void Ray first, just for map control. And no, it's going to be an Oracle instead. Nice, a little bit supply blocked, but the Oracles are now on the way. Upon seeing that, ooh, Spore Crawlers are thrown down. Now, this is interesting. This is a 3-minute 40 Baneling Nest. A very early Baneling Nest here from EnDerr. This is not standard. This is not normal from our Zerg player. And we'll see if he can keep this hidden. That's my initial thought, because Nice is moving out with 2 Adepts. Because of his 2-gate opener, we have 2 Adepts moving out, and they're going to be looking for economic damage and also a scout if possible as well. The Adepts, they do get caught by the Lings. It looks like 1 Adept will not go down. The Adepts, they shade into the main base. A quick Evo wall, though, and the Adepts will fall. And they didn't see anything. They did not see the Baneling Nest behind the mineral line. Oracle going to be maneuvering between the bases, looking for some more drone kills. Not finding anything, though. And the Oracle is being zoned away. No damage is done. And here we go. 16 Lings are in production. EnDerr is bane busting. He has successfully kept this Baneling Nest hidden. He has successfully kept his workers alive. And now he's just focusing on his aggression. Lings, they get across the map. They almost take down an Adept, but it will survive. We do have a Phoenix coming out as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there we go. Did have a Phoenix out for map control to hunt down Overlords. Again, that is going to be a lot of Lings. Banelings are being morphed in as well. EnDerr, his goal is to break the third base. And we'll see if he can. Lings, they get in between the natural and the third. They catch a couple of workers. Banelings, they waddle on in. There's not too many workers to kill, but they go straight for the Adepts. Oof. They take down the pilot. They take down the Adepts. The Oracles are out of position, and this third base is exposed. Can we get a kill on the Nexus? I don't think we can. The Oracles, they do make their way back home. And it looks like this Nexus will survive. The Lings, they get a couple of pylons, but again, just not enough to break the base itself. As EnDerr, he's flooding more Lings across the map. Again, there's no shield battery. There are a couple of sentries. The Oracles are running out of energy, though. And it looks like the Nexus is going to survive? No shot. The Nexus barely does survive. I think we could have committed. I'll be honest. I think we could have committed to that. As Nice has gone up to 4 Oracles. Back at home, EnDerr, he's droning, he's saturating his bases. I feel like with this third base surviving, though, Nice is ahead. You can see that reflected in the workers. Nice, he's ahead in workers, he's ahead in probes, ahead in economy, and that's something you never want to see in this matchup. And this is what I was talking about earlier. Like, EnDerr, he's just a very aggressive player, and when the aggression doesn't work, like, he falls behind. As Nice, he just Maynard's over, he saturates his third. We have a Twilight Council on the way, sorry, a Templar Archives on the way. Charge, +1. EnDerr needed to do more damage, and alas, he was just unable to. He's getting on top of these sentries. He's gonna get one? No. Doesn't get any of the sentries. A rough trade here for EnDerr. Across the map, the Oracles, there are so many of them. They go into the main. 5 Oracles in total. 1 Queen goes down. He's gonna get a second Queen as well. We can get a third. Oof. We just annihilated the gas mining workers as well. Did we scout the Hydroden? The answer is yes. The Hydroden has been spotted. EnDerr is going Ling Hydra. Upon seeing the Hydroden, we have Storm. Storm on the way for Nice. And Storm is a great spell against all things light. Against Lings, Banelings, and Hydras. Against everything that EnDerr has.
Game paused.
So going to be asking for a pause for a moment. Hopefully everything is okay. Potentially some Uber Eats at the door. I'm very tempted to order some food right now as well. Very tempted. But there we go. The game has been resumed. It looks like if there was ever an issue, has been resolved. It's all good. I say Uber Eats, maybe like a cat jumped onto the table. It happens, it happens. As Nice is going to be fully walling up here on his 3 bases, working on his 4th. Cannons, shield batteries on the way. Storm is about to finish up as well. And Nice is going to be looking solid here on his 4 bases. Meanwhile, back at home, EnDerr is trying to catch up economically. Working on Baneling speed as Hydra upgrades. Hive still not quite on the way. We don't have an infestation pit. And this Phoenix will confirm that. A pretty important scout here from Nice. He does confirm that there is no lair. And as a result, no Lurker Den. As the Lurker Den just now gets thrown down, which also was spotted by the Phoenix. Now, the direction that EnDerr's going in is nice. It makes sense. Like to go Ling Bane into Hydras into Lurker Viper. But it's late. This is late tech here from EnDerr. By the time he gets into Lurkers, by the time he gets into a Hive, Nice is going to be pretty well fortified. He's walling off. Stasis traps are being thrown down. 4th base being saturated. Behind this, we should be working on a Robo or a Skytoss transition. God, that's a lot of stasis traps. I mean, it is 5 Oracles, to be fair. They've got a lot of energy. Got a lot of stasis traps. Like, how do we break this third? It's not going to be. We have a wall of gateways, cannons, shield batteries, storm, and stasis traps, and the same can be said here at the fourth. But Nice is moving out. A bold move. He's going to be exposing his army. Not too sure if we need to do this right now. But here we go. Nice is moving out, cleaning up a lot of this creep. We can see EnDerr getting ready for a surround. But Nice does back off. He recognizes how much danger he's in, and he will retreat. Yeah, he rotates back around, getting on top of this space once again. And that will be a kill on this hatchery. At the same time, Hydra's attempt to counterattack. We do see EnDerr getting ready from behind with those banelings. And Nice is pushing it even further. I don't know if this is the best move. He throws away his zealots. EnDerr, he can collapse on this. There's no way to reinforce. Like, the prism isn't really here to support. Hydra's across the map do get cleaned up. EnDerr is maxed. Like, this was a really crazy move from Nice to move out like this. But he doesn't get punished for it. Meanwhile, Hive is finally on the way for EnDerr. It just now started. EnDerr is going to be able to deny the 5th base. Now, what's concerning about what just happened is that Nice, he exposed himself, but he kept everything alive. He didn't lose any Archons, didn't lose any High Templar. He denied a base, and he made it back home. And now we're getting into robot production. We have a massive warping of Zealots into the main base. I do feel like there was a window, there was an opportunity for EnDerr, and maybe that opportunity has come and gone. Banelings won't reconnect, decent storms on the Hydras, Zealots make their way into the main. 9 drones go down. And now EnDerr's army is looking terrifying. Zealots are being cleaned up. We have plenty of storms available, but is it going to be enough? Oh my god, massive connections. Only 1 High Templar survives. Uh-oh. There's only 1 High Templar left, and it's gonna go down. Big Baneling connections from EnDerr, and that may just be it. What is there left? There's 2 High Templar left with full energy, to be fair. But EnDerr, he's up 60 supply. Again, I do think that Nice was just, again, a little bit too adventurous, considering what kind of army he had, or that he just didn't have much else with it to support. Here we go. He's being dragged towards that 4th base. Decent storm, but the lurkers are coming in from behind. These are lair tech lurkers. They don't have range. They don't have adaptive talents. The Ling Hydra is dancing with the main army of Nice. At the same time, the lurkers are breaking into the 3rd base. And what can Nice do? He can't do anything here. Big storms on the Hydras. High Templar are going down one after the other. And again, I was expecting Nice to transition into Colossus production, into Sky Toss. We didn't see any of that. He stayed here on Chargel Archon, on Storm. The Zealots are cleaning up these lurkers, to be fair. And he's getting a lot of drone kills. Okay, I was counting Nice out, but he's actually trading quite well. How many? Do I want to know how many lurkers just died? 10. Oof. Oh, 10 lurkers for mainly Zealots. Very efficient trade out of Nice. Once again, pushing on forward, getting on top of the lurkers. But the Hydras, they may just be able to overwhelm this. We have another lurker coming in. There are no storms. Now we have 2 more robos. Now we have a bay, but this is too late. This is something that we needed a long time ago. When we got the 4th base up and running, that's when we needed this transition. To refine the army, to allow for more splash damage. We'll see. We'll see if Nice can survive long enough to get into this, to get into his robo production. Until then, EnDerr, he's pushing through. He's trying to deny the 5th. Decent storms. Oh, god. And yeah, EnDerr, he's bleeding out a lot. These are expensive units here, and EnDerr does not have a bank. This hatchery is going to go down. And he's only on 76 workers. Only on 5 bases. He's on an even base count to the Protoss. As the hatchery goes down. EnDerr trying to rebuild his lurker army, getting in towards his lurker upgrades as well. Now he does have adaptive talents. He still doesn't have range. Lurker range would be insane, and yeah, there we go. Lurker range now on the way. Without it, nice, he can still fight this army. As he's making 3 disruptors at a time. Oh my god. That's a lot of disruptors. So nice is going to rotate around. He reinforces his army. Disruptors are on the way. Zelts are going for a big run by here on the right hand side. The spine crawler not quite done. Yeah, workers are going down. EnDerr's being pulled apart. Yeah, the Hydras have to turn back around. It does feel like EnDerr's also a little momentum. Oh, the lurkers! As the lurkers almost get caught out. But they are being zoned away. The lurkers are coming in from behind. We're looking for a surround. The disruptors come in, but do they come in too late? Big connection. Big novas on the lurkers. The lurkers go down. And we can see the Immortals reign supreme as Nice has done it. He has broken through. GG gets called. Nice takes game number 1, taking a 2-0 lead. GG. Oh. GG, well played. That was pretty back and forth, to be honest. There were moments for both players. There were moments where EnDerr was looking powerful with his initial lurker timing. There were some really scary moments when Nice had exposed his own fragile army, but eventually he was able to settle things down, able to get into his 5 bases, able to get into his disruptor production. That final fight was also pretty close as well. It was very fortunate that he was able to get on top of the lurkers the way that he did. Very adventurous for EnDerr to try to surround that army with those exposed lurkers. Didn't work out in the end, and I mean he was caught out of position as well. So GG, well played. Nice is 1 game away from taking the entire series 3-0. EnDerr needs to fight back here and now. I love what's being said in the chat. He ignored the lunkers. If you ignore your problems, they can't hurt you. True. Copium, papi, copium. Oh my god. I mean, hey, it worked. Kind of worked. For Nice in the end. And yeah, with that, again, he only needs 1 more game to make it all the way through. And now is a good time to order some dinner. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear it, but a neighbor is having a bit of a party. A house party. I can hear some old school R&B playing. It's good stuff. Alright, I'm ordering some Guzman. Guzman y Gomez. I'm starving. I haven't eaten in over a day. I haven't properly eaten in over a day. Alright, we're good. But yeah, we are going to be getting ready here for our next game. Players just getting that lobby set up. And we'll see if we can bring it back or if it all ends here in Game 3. Again, I mean, looking at the bracket, Nice, he hasn't dropped the map so far. Things have gotten close. Things have gotten very close, but Nice has persevered. And he has been left untouched in today's tournament. Can anyone stop him? If it's going to be anyone, it has to be EnDerr. Has to be that. Here we go. Next game, Gressvar. Grass farm. And we're now going to be loading into potentially the final game of the series. Let's go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Grass Farm, we have the Filipino Zerg player looking to make a series out of this, looking to fight back here and now as he's up against the wall. It is EnDerr. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the best player in all of Taiwan, one game away from becoming this week's Grand Platypus Open champion. It is Nice. Uno mas, papi. One more game is all he needs. Meanwhile, EnDerr, he needs to pull off an insane comeback by taking this game and the next to force the ace match. And again, I do think that there were some moments for him in that last game. I do think that there were moments where Nice exposed himself. I do think that even the initial Ling Bane bust, the Ling Flood at the third base, nearing the beginning of altitude, I do think that EnDerr could have maybe even killed the third there, and I do think he needed to. Like, his initial build, because he didn't kill the third, because he didn't kill enough workers, he was behind. EnDerr was behind after the failed Ling Bane bust, and maybe it would have been better if he had just committed a little bit more to killing that third base, to be able to have a little bit more breathing room and have a better economic lead against Nice, because Nice was able to stabilize pretty quickly and get ahead economically very quickly as well. It was a rough start for EnDerr. It was a rough start, but it had potential. It did have potential. Ooh, as EnDerr's going for a hatch gas pool opener, very standard from our Zerg player. Meanwhile, across the map, Nice going for a gate expand. We have seen Nice play around with Nexus firsts, especially on Gressvan, but this game, especially after winning game 1, he's going for a more safer opener. Gate expand into the Cybercore. Standard openers from both players. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wild. Overlord is going to come in to scout to confirm, and oh my, EnDerr throws down a Roach Warren. Alright, so game 1, EnDerr went for a Ling Bane bust. Here in game 2, we have a Roach Rush coming out from our Zerg player. Again, we should be skipping Ling speed, should be making Roaches and Ravagers. Meanwhile, ooh, the aggression doesn't stop at EnDerr because Nice goes for a Twilight Council. Who does this favor? Now, with this Twilight Council opener, Nice should be going towards Glaive Adepts. This could also be DTs, could be Dark Templar, of course, as well. One or the other. But EnDerr hits first. EnDerr's push is going to hit first. It's going to hit a little bit harder as well. Is Nice going to have enough at home to defend? Without a Twilight Council, he's not going to have a Forge. He's not going to have an Oracle. He's not going to have a Void Ray. He's going to have very little to defend. Probe moves out. Does confirm the lack of third base. Very sus. And Nice, he needs to get ready back at home. He sees no third. So 2-base all in is the only thing it could be. Alas, is being distracted by these Lings. The Probe does scout the Roaches. And back at home, we need to wall off. We have a shield battery on the way. Gateway as well. But we only have one gateway for production. This Twilight Council is not helping. It's not helping at all here in the defense. Again, if we had a Stargate opener, we could have an Oracle. We could have a Void Ray coming out, being chroned out as we speak. This is best case scenario for EnDerr. As Nice has 3 units. He has 2 Stalkers and 1 Adept. As things get a little bit chaotic, and he just throws down the wall as quickly as he can. Behind this, we're droning. So EnDerr isn't going all in. He is droning up behind this. It looks like he's just forcing a reaction. He wants to break through if possible. He does get the first Stalker. He gets the Adept as well. And even through the shield batteries, he's breaking through these units. As he ignores the natural, he goes straight for the main. Gets a full scout. Oh, probes are falling. And we can just go straight for the Immortal. The Immortal getting exposed, but it will survive. And Nice will clean this up. But not before losing 7 workers. Now, what just happened is Nice didn't just lose 7 workers. He also was forced to make all these shield batteries, the second pylon as well, and he was forced to make immortals. Initially, this was going to be Glaive Adepts, or DTs of course, but the initial plan here for Nice has been disrupted. He had to reactively make these immortals, and now his build is like kind of thrown up in the air. He's down to 25 workers, he's down to the economy. He himself may just be forced into an all-in. Coming back from this position is going to be difficult for Nice. We have a Prism on the way. We have 2 Immortals as well. Behind this, EnDerr, he's just saturating his bases. He's taking a third, working up towards a lair. He still doesn't have Link speed, which is a little bit concerning. He's going straight for Roach speed instead. Ooh, and it is going to be a Dark Shrine. Hello. Okay. Bit of a risky move, but this is a way to come back in this game to get economic damage done. There is an Overseer on the way though, and if the Overseer goes into the main, then EnDerr will see that Dark Shrine. Yeah, we canceled. Dark Shrine is canceled. Nice, he's aware that EnDerr was going to come in for the scout and he was going to see everything anyway, so we go for Blink instead. Saturation of the gases have been confirmed. It was a cheeky move from Nice, but again, upon seeing he got scouted, he just avoids the Dark Templar entirely. Going for some Immortal drop harass instead. He's getting, what, 2, 3 roaches? Not bad. He's going to get a 4th. He's juggling quite well. Oh, can he get the queen? Oh, not quite. Oh. He wants it. 5th, a 6th roach? Jesus. EnDerr is bleeding out a lot of units here. And this is what happens when you don't have Lings either to support. As EnDerr's going to be cutting workers at 44, he's making nothing but roaches. This is what I mean. EnDerr, it looks like he's macroing, it looks like he's droning, and he was until now. He's not droning his third base at all. He's going for a big all-in. He's hoping to catch Nice being too greedy, and he checks the third, but there's nothing here. There is no third. Nice is going for his own 2-base all-in. A massive gateway explosion. 7 gateways in total. Still on 2 bases. Oh, but EnDerr, he's busting in. Wow, he breaks into the base, into the natural. Those gateways, they still have to finish up. Yeah, the Immortals are forced to recall back home. A big scout and a big pick-off here for EnDerr. Killing the Archosis pylon. He scouts, he confirms the gateway count as well. So EnDerr knows not to be too greedy. He did make a couple of workers, but for the most part... Oh my god, is he going to try to break the natural base? He's crazy. I mean, he did depower some gateways. But I feel like containing is all he can really hope for. Yeah, as he is going to be making... He's going to be squeezing out some drones back at home. I feel like EnDerr's being a little bit too adventurous here. He's losing a lot. Like he saw how committed Nice was. And he's going to be bleeding out so many roaches. Again, I feel like a bit of a lapse in judgment here from EnDerr, as he needs to focus on at least saturating his third, and then focus on his army. As Nice is moving out. And here we go, EnDerr's preparing back at home. He is fully saturated on 3 bases. He's going for a bit of a roach counterattack. This could force Nice to turn around. That's going to be the goal. But we do have a defensive warp in back at home. Very well timed for Nice. Up! Deliver! Does connect with 3 roaches. And even though these roaches of EnDerr didn't break into the natural, they did force the army to turn around. So EnDerr, he was able to buy a little bit more time, build up his army. Nice is looking to expand. But his main force is still terrifying. Ooh, the Ravagers are being caught out. It's a big pick off here for Nice. But he's being lured in. He's getting surrounded. He's getting on top of a lot of these Ravagers. Big Nova's going to be going off, and big connections on the Roaches. Nice. He will take this fight. He dominates this fight, cleaning up every single Ravager, every single Roach as well. He's bleeding out some of these Stalkers, but yeah, GG gets called. And Nice will take the series 3-0, becoming this week's Grand Platypus Open champion. GG. GG, well played. Again, this was like pretty back and forth, and there were moments here for EnDerr. I do think that like EnDerr's like nature was working against him a little bit. Like again, EnDerr, he wants to make units, he wants to be aggressive, but there are times where you need to know when to back off, when you want to, you know, take a lead and extend that lead. And I do think that EnDerr saturated his third base very late. So even though he got up to 3 base saturation, it was much later than it could have been, and that meant that he had less money to work with in general. It meant that eventually when the attack came, he was caught out. Even before that, if you remember, he was bleeding out a lot of Roaches, he was bleeding out a lot of units. No Lings to help support either. When you're up against a Stalker Immortal heavy composition, Lings do so well. Like, Lings are amazing against both Stalkers and Immortals, and typically you have the Roach Ravagers to support your army instead as a more supportive unit. But regardless, GG, well played. Congratulations to Nice for taking the series and becoming our champion. Quack, 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 GG. GG, well played. And that does wrap us up here for the night. Again, it was a bit of a smaller bracket tonight, but a very high quality bracket nonetheless. Nice blazing his way through, and again, even though he won the tournament without dropping a single map, a lot of these games were close. It's not like he was completely dominant over all of these players. We saw both EnDerr and Joey as well pose quite a threat to Nice, and there were moments where they were winning games and they were almost able to take maps off of Nice, but Nice is still a dominant force here in this region, still untouched. Untouched. I mentioned earlier, this is the 3rd GPO that Nice has signed up for, and he has won every single one. The only player to take games off of Nice so far is Miyamaika. Miyamaika has been the only player to make Nice bleed, but Miyamaika wasn't here this week. Miyamaika, he did show up a little bit late. If you're a part of our Discord server, you would have seen that Miyamaika, he showed up like 10 minutes late after the tournament already started. It was a little bit smudge. A little bit smudge. Miyamaika, he was late to the party and he wasn't able to compete as a result. The tournament had already started at that point. But yeah, maybe next week, or maybe next time. I say next week, in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I'm sure we'll be seeing them face off again. I'm sure. Until then, though, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you so much for the support. Shout out to M. Canning. M. Canning did give us a massive raid earlier. And if you enjoyed the tournament, if you enjoyed the casting, then we cast here on a daily basis. I said this earlier. I'll say it again, I guess. We didn't get to cast yesterday. Unfortunately, I missed out on 2 broadcasts. It was a WTL last night and KSL this morning. I was sick with the flu. I had joint pains everywhere. I was throwing up. I had a fever. It was not good. It was not good. And I'm still not fully recovered. But you know what? I didn't want to miss out on too much. We have like 4 casts to do, and I didn't want to miss out on too much StarCraft. I didn't want the backlog to accumulate, and I'm jacked up on some pills right now, and I'm getting through it, Papi. I'm getting through it. Let's go. We're fine, Papi. We're fine. Don't worry about it. So yeah, I apologize for missing some casts yesterday and this morning, but we're back on schedule, and we should be able to catch up on everything as well. We should be having a catch-up cast of KSL and WTL later on in the week. I'll do my best to organize that. And we're not done for tonight. We're not done. In 1 hour, we're going to be live once again on this channel with some more StarCraft. So if you enjoyed, if you want some more, if you want some more StarCraft content, if you want some more tournaments, some more pro play, World Team League Code A continues tonight in 1 hour. And we are going to be casting in English here on the Cranky Ducklings. So if you want to stick around, if you want to follow us, you'll be notified for when we go live. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord. We are all things Cranky Ducklings We are Ducklings everywhere, everywhere. Exclamation mark socials in the chat if you wish to follow us. Otherwise, I do see the links in the chat. You can support this tournament on Patreon and Matcherino. Again, you don't have to. I know it's a big ask for some monetary support, but if you wish to, if you want to support the Ducklings, if you want to support the StarCraft scene, then you can do so over on Patreon or Matcherino. The links are in the chat if you're interested. Otherwise, the least that we ask is to follow us on Twitch. So you'll be here whenever we go live, and we always have a lot of good fun. Every now and then I have a co-caster, another Duckling, but recently the rest of the Ducklings have been busy. You know, Yaku's busy with his studies, and Asher's busy with his IRL commitments as well. He's been it's fun. We'll be getting some more Asher later on. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe. We'll see. Once he gets rid of his hangover. Este Asher. But regardless, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. We're going to be back in 1 hour. I did just order some food, so hopefully I can get some food inside me before the cast. And I can get some rest and recuperate before we get into some more StarCraft. If you won't be here in an hour, and if you will be here tomorrow we're going to be casting another day of World Team League, and also the Sparkling Tuna Cup, which is very similar to GPO, but it's open to all regions. GPO is region locked to Oceania and Southeast Asia. The Sparkling Tuna Cup is open to everywhere else. So we get a lot of Europeans, we get some Koreans as well. A lot of good fun Sunday nights. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. We'll be back in 1 hour. Until then, enjoy. We're going to be raiding someone else. I'm not too sure who we'll be raiding. EnDerr is streaming, so EnDerr's a finalist. We'll give him some love. We'll give him some support. Check out EnDerr. He's a great player, and hey, I mean, he may have fallen here in the grand finals, but he's still an amazing player, and yeah, we'll be giving him a raid. He's a great guy. Wholesome, Bobby, wholesome. So until then, I guess we'll see you guys in an hour. You know, take that time to get some water, get some rest, recuperate with some more StarCraft. Until then, hasta luego. Bye.